So Trump he did this Invest in America roundtable thing. And I'm just in this, let me show you. I'm just in this for the name announcements. There's Susie, Mike Johnson. And sit. What? Jesus Christ. Nobody's allowed to sit until the music stops? What is this? Musical chairs? Thank you. I win again because I was already touching my chair. But Scott Bessent, you missed out again, so get the fuck out. Please tell me that. Yeah, their mics are not on yet. This is hilarious.
We've had some exciting days in the last week, I would say, mostly.
Yes, most weeks contain days.
Some of the things you're reading about in Los Angeles, thank goodness we sent out some wonderful National Guard. They've really helped. And
they literally have not.
A lot of problems that we're having out there.
And it's not their fault that they're not needed, and it makes it worse.
They were afraid to do anything, and we sent out the troops, and they've done a fantastic job. So I want to thank them very much. I also want to thank you for being here as we discuss one of the most exciting parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill. It is indeed a big, beautiful bill, and it's doing very well.
No, it's not. Right now, they're carving out the SALT deduction aspect of it. And if they do that, they will lose 30 votes when it goes back to the House. It's dead if they do that.
The Trump accounts, as they call it, pilot program, which will make it possible for countless American children to have a strong start in life at no cost to the American taxpayer. Absolutely no cost. It's going to have a huge impact. I want to thank House Speaker Mike Johnson for, number one, being a great speaker, and number two, perhaps slightly less important, for being here today. Thank you, Mike.
I want to thank you for being here today.
Along with Chairman Jason Smith, who's fantastic, and Representatives French Hill, August Pfluger, Blake Moore, Rob Bresnahan, and Frank Lucas. Thank you all, fellas. Thank you very much. We appreciate it very much.
Wherever you are.
Thanks as well to many top business leaders from Invest America, CEO, Council. It's been a wonderful council. They've come up with some fantastic ideas. We're putting them into use. They're really the greatest business minds we have today. These men and women lead large, successful companies, and they're committed to contributing millions of dollars to the Trump account. And it's really, it's going to be something incredible for children.
Nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about with these Trump accounts. He's going to like babies get a Trump account so you can just have a, if you can afford to save any money when you have a baby, you can put it in there, or you'll get, I don't know, like.
And for their employees in many cases. Here's how the accounts work. For every U.S. citizen born after December 31st, 2024, before January 1st, 2029, the federal government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into a tax-deferred account that will track the overall stock market. In other words, it'll be pegged to an index that we'll pick, right, Michael? We'll pick it. We'll pick a good one. Maybe
you won't pick one. It will be the index itself, the plain, just the stock market.
It should be the index. I'd like to have that. These kids would be very wealthy if that were the case. That would be good. I think we might do that, Michael Dell. These accounts will be private property controlled by the child's guardians, and in many cases, those guardians will be the parents. We think probably the parents will be the guardians.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Guardians. They'll be open for additional private contributions each year from family, friends, parents, employers, churches, private foundations, and more. This is a pro-family initiative that will help millions of Americans harness.
This is that thing about, like, how do we buy a baby? How do we make people pay people to have babies? That's what they're doing.
Strength of our economy.
By the way, if you put $1,000 into it, the tax on removing it will be far higher than the $1,000 because it's not a tax-free account. It's a 401k for children, right? But it's a one-time $1,000 thing that tracks the index. So the idea is if you had it when you were born and you just let it sit, you'd have more money than whatever if it didn't crash, right? But that's the idea. But they're going to get the tax money from that, so it'll cost nothing is the theory. That's why they believe it'll work.
Up the next generation, and they'll really be getting a big jump on life, especially if we get a little bit lucky with some of the numbers and the economies into
a little bit lucky, yeah,
future.
Because that's what we're doing, was just gambling with $1,000 of actual cash for these kids. Now, how many people can sue to get that money out if the kid gets sick or they need to pay for health care and this money is in that account? When can you take it out? If the parents are the guarantors, how much access will they have? Is it like a Coogan account where no matter what you do, you can't get it out till they're 18?
In addition to the substantial financial benefits of investing early in life, extensive research shows that children with savings accounts are more likely to graduate high school and college, buy a home, start a business, and are less likely to be incarcerated. Trump accounts will contribute to the lifelong success of millions of newborn babies.
He's gacked up on Adderall. You could hear the mouth smack. Ugh.
They'll fully, and this will be very interesting.
They're what? They'll fully?
Millions of newborn babies. They'll fully, and this will be very interesting, I think, for everybody to hear. They are fully funded through targeted reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill, like the $1.7 trillion in mandatory savings, welfare reforms to stop waste and fraud, a 3.5% remittance tax, and more. And it's just a part of that. The One Big Beautiful Bill is among the most important pieces of legislation our country's.
All right, yeah, he's selling this sales pitch.
Little tweaks, to put it mildly.
Hold on, what?
It's drone warfare. So a lot of things change. We did a great job with the military, but now we're going to have to do some little tweaks, to put it mildly. And we'll be doing that, and we have it all nicely funded. I look forward to signing this into law. It's really something that we're having such an opportunity. And I have to say, he's here with us. He's a person that I've admired for a long time. You take a look at what he's done and followed his record. And it's Dell chairman, Michael Dell. He's done such an incredible.
Yeah, so Dell's going to double the investment on employees. So the idea is that they're going to start these accounts, and then the companies will do matching funds to try and get these CEOs on board, and then that'll help them with retention and all kinds of stuff like that. That's what they're hoping.
Good job. It's as a business person, I study.
Also, why wouldn't you just do any child under, before they're of school age, preschool age? Any child born in the next 3 years and any child born, in the last 6, we're going to automatically do this for them because, fuck them, I guess?
Business people. And that's
if it doesn't cost anything, it doesn't add anything to the deficit long term, why not?
Perfect one to study.
I mean, obviously in 10 years it will, because it'll still sit there. That money will be borrowed to be put in that account. So you're borrowing against that, hoping that the tax revenue on it will be higher than the interest rate on the accumulated interest on that $1,000.
It should be almost mandatory reading. So I want to congratulate you on that, and thank you for the idea, because you're the first one that really brought this to my attention. I know that you and your friends have been talking about it for a long time, but other presidents didn't get it done, Michael, right? So we got it done. Congratulations.
You haven't gotten it done. It's in the bill, but it has not gotten passed.
Thank you very much. Sure. I want to also give some recognition to my friend Brad Gerstner, who helped get us all organized and
that's right.
And actually
thank you very much. Good, Brad.
Spearheaded this.
Good. And also we have with us a very powerful man in the world of business, CEO David Solomon of Goldman Sachs. David, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here
friend.
today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi. Where is Khosrowshahi? Where?
Sorry, who?
Khosrowshahi. Where is Khosrowshahi?
Does that hurt?
Dara Khosrowshahi. Where is Khosrowshahi?
Oh, God.
Where? Thank you very much. That's a hell of a name, but you've done a hell of a job. So that's appropriate. And also, again, Chairman Smith for doing such a job. Nobody knows taxes better than Chairman Smith. When we have a problem.
What is happening? What is happening with that? Look, whether the Trump accounts or something is real or whatever, Dell obviously put this thing out or whatever, and they would add it. Doing something like that, a long-term investment for American-born children, great, whatever. I'm for it. Knock yourself out. That seems fine. It's such a Gordian knot of like legal issues and whether the money would actually stay with them and how you would do it and whether it's attached to their Social Security and whether it's just kind of a way of making money on the backs of, on these folks and like whether that seed money would be worth a goddamn or how they would actually be able to access it and what the interest on it would be. I mean, you should argue that since they had no choice in making the investment and it was given to them by the government, it should be tax-free by the time they take it out. So if they take it out when they're 18 years old, if they take control of it, they can sell it all at 18 years old and pay no taxes on that, and then take that money, and if they want to put it back into the stock market, they can pay on taxes on the investment after that fact. I think that would work just fine, right? But they put it in the bill to try and lure Democrats and others into voting for the bill. That's what this is for. Whatever. It's a good idea. Do it all right. Hal, you all right? Oh, I'm great. What is that? What is this happening? What's going on here? Can anybody explain what the fuck that is? That's. It looks like his hair was sculpted to look like a fish in Finding Nemo. This piece is over here. This part just looks like it was pulled forward to show his scalp tightening scar that he had, right? This rolled forward part. And then this part is just a nest. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's the piss-colored cotton candy thing. Hold on. There we go.
We go to see Chairman Smith, right? So I want to thank you very much, Dara and Chairman Smith. I appreciate it. So I'd like to begin by asking Speaker Johnson to say a few words. And I think then we're going to go to Michael Dell, David Solomon. We're going to go to Dara and then to Chairman Smith. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, thank you.
Yeah, I don't care about this or whatever. Like, is there questions? Does he take questions from anything? This is the Dell thing. That's Goldman Sachs. Then they go to that guy, and then they talk to this guy, and he kisses Trump's ass.
Talk to you about no tax on tips and the other 400. It does.
There's great respect. And if you don't mind, Brett, I'd like to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Well, first, it's a great honor and privilege to be here. We wouldn't be here without.
Yes, all praise, dear leader. Did they ask questions at this one?
Anytime soon.
Hold on.
That's all I can tell you. Yeah, please, in the back.
Under law.
Hold on.
Why is this situation different to not consult with Governor Newsom about this?
Well, the biggest change from that statement is we have an incompetent governor. So I talked about governors, but I didn't talk about he's an incompetent governor. Look at the job he's doing in California. He's destroying one of our great states. And if I didn't get involved, if we didn't bring the Guard in, and we would bring more.
He's been saying the same shit about the Guard. He said it in Minnesota. It was a lie then, too.
If we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order. You had a disaster happening, and they now admit it was a disaster. I watched the chief.
No, they don't.
Yesterday, he was a good man, by the way, and he said, "Wow, we're lucky we did this because they were overwhelmed. You saw what was happening, so we did the right thing. Everybody agrees to that."
Just bullshit.
But you have a governor who let the city burn down, didn't want water to be sent
Right.
down to him. And I sent billions of gallons of water.
To the center of the state.
I wanted to do it in the first term. He wouldn't do it over, I don't know, they have environmental reasons, but there were no environmental reasons. I think it's just a political philosophy. But it's lucky for the people in Los Angeles and in California that we did what we did. We got it just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten
What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed? I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country. And
Great employment numbers, rising wages, infrastructure.
that's pretty bad. It's the wrong philosophy.
So we're going to arrest people for having the wrong philosophy. And I'm proud to be an American.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them prisoners. They're taking up your health care. They're taking up your space in schools. They're taking up your hospital.
Nope.
In many cases, they're criminal.
They're taking up your job on a strawberry farm.
And we have to do something about it. And we're doing something about it. I want to thank the incredible patriots of ICE and Tom Homan, who has been incredible, and Kristi Noem, likewise incredible. The job they're doing. And it's like an unforced error. There was no reason for this. 21 million people.
What do you mean there was no reason for this? You sent those people in to cause this.
Allowed into our country. And many of those people were criminals.
No, they weren't.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. But we're getting them out. And I will say, I think it's a 95-5 issue, just like so many other issues, 95-5. And the Democrats lost an election in a landslide because they're the wrong side of the
jump ball.
I mean, it's not even conceivable that somebody would do the kind of things that he did. And then, you talk about projects. They want to build a train going from San Francisco to L.A., and it's costing hundreds of billions of dollars more than they thought it was going to cost. It's not even believable. To Brad and to people sitting here, would you believe that a train, it was going to cost X dollars and it might be 100 times X?
Would have paid for this for about 50 million American children.
You're right.
50 million American children instead of a 3-mile train track that never got built.
We could have put Lincoln in.
What the fuck? What do you paid for 50? Oh, because he thinks they're okay. This is birthing money. That's why you could pay for 55 million births with your $1,000 that you put out, right?
With no experience, he would have done a good job. I guarantee you that. All right, please, Peter.
Mr. President, have you gotten an update from your negotiating?
Thank you, President Trump. So it seems like Gavin Newsom likes the attention that he's getting right now from
I do.
you.
Yeah, I think
it seems like he does. If you look at recent history, somebody who was running for president, who got arrested and had a mugshot, you could make the argument that politically that wound up helping you. Are you worried at all at this moment that talking about him getting arrested could be helpful to his political prospects? Because a lot of people think he wants to be sitting right where you are.
Well, in my case, it was a witch hunt, and everybody knew it. And I was able to explain that during the process. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And it was a total witch hunt. It's proven to be a witch hunt, and you see what's happened.
No, you were convicted.
In case it really is very obvious. You look at what's happened between the fires. I could name 10 things right now. We talk about.
Go for it. But you said the fires. Go for it.
The trains. We talk about all of the costs in California. You talk about all of the people that are flowing in, destroying life for everyone else. So no, I don't think it's going to help him. I think it's actually very bad for him.
And right around the time that we were walking in here, the governor and the state attorney general said that they're going to sue you for sending the National Guard in. They're saying there's no invasion, there's no rebellion. The president is trying to manufacture chaos and crisis on the ground for his own political ends. Federalizing the California National Guard is an abuse of the president's authority under law.
Well, it's interesting. You watched the same clips as I did. Cars burning all over the place, people rioting. And by the way, we stopped it. We were able to make it much better. But it
didn't stop it. The fucking regular cops. There's police officers. It's a big fucking city. It's a small area.
It looked pretty bad. And in watching clips last night, people were saying this is
clips. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't realize he'd seen clips.
A big problem. And until we went in, if we didn't do the job, that place would be burning down just like the houses burned down. They were in big trouble last night, Peter. You know it. And the night before, and the night before that. And
no, not really.
I feel we had no choice. I don't want.
Right.
I don't want to see happen what happened so many times in this country. I watched Minneapolis burn.
No, you didn't. Minneapolis is still around. It's a lovely city. Also, by the way, is it just me or is it like This dude is way over fucking quota for riots on his watch.
I watched, look at what happened in so many different parts of California. You take a look at what happened in San Diego.
Bakersfield.
There's so many different places.
San Diego? You mean the Republican bastion of San Diego?
Where we let it burn. We want to be politically correct. We wanted to be nice. We want to be nice to the criminal. And what you're doing is destroying the fabric of our life in this country. No, we did the right thing. We've been given credit by people that I would least suspect. Why I would say that some of the people that came in and said, thank goodness, they said, some of them, thank God that Trump got involved.
Bullshit. Made up. No, nobody said that. Nobody except big suck-ups are saying anything that fucking stupid.
Very happy I got involved. And I think...
Who? Name one. Give me one of the people. Who was it? Fucking John Voight?
In his own way is probably happy I got involved. Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
What do you make of the fact that he says, you want a civil war on the streets of America?
No, it's just the opposite. I don't want a civil war.
Oh, thanks. Super.
What happened if you left it to people like him? And I liked him. You know, I always got along with him. Never had a problem with him. But he's grossly incompetent. Okay.
Why? Is that the one thing you guys had in common? Is that the idea?
Update from negotiators in London. Have you gotten an update from your team in London negotiating?
What? Louder.
Have you gotten an update from your team in London negotiating the China trade talks?
Yeah, he did need louder. He didn't know what the fuck you were talking about when you said London. You had to say China trade talks.
We are doing well with China.
Okay.
China's not easy, just like your home country is not easy, Dara. I think we're doing very well.
I'm pretty sure his home country is the United States.
They're over there now. I'm only getting good reports. It's a little early, but they'll be calling in soon. In fact, probably when I get back, I'll have my first call from them. We want to open up China. And if we don't open up China, maybe we won't do anything. But we want to open up China. It'll be a great thing for China, a great thing for the rest of the world.
Are you willing to lift export controls when it comes to China? Did you give your negotiators any sort of limitations?
We're going to see. Look, China has been ripping off the United States for many years.
Which is why we can't wait to be in bigger business with them. We want to open up China. They've been ripping us off and stealing our technology forever, so we want to get more of our companies into the country. It's a great idea.
Nobody charged them 10 cents. No president had the courage.
No charged them 10 cents? Whatever.
Charge China for whatever reason. They didn't want to do it. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars I put on tariffs.
Yeah, same shit.
Then I did it again, but I did it for a lot of others.
Wow.
Everybody was shocked. I wasn't shocked. I think a lot of the people at this table weren't, because they saw the billions of dollars that were pouring in, and the tariffs hadn't even started yet, just about. They weren't cars. They were in some countries.
You can't have money pouring in if there isn't a tariff on it. Nobody's paying tariffs they don't have to pay. Nobody's paying preemptive tariffs, you dipshit.
It's at a very minor level. And we cut the deficit in half. And it was a big story a couple of days ago.
No, you didn't.
They said, I don't believe, one of the announcers on a business network went wild, said, I can't believe these numbers. Those numbers are good. The numbers are going to be very good. I think we're going to have a great 4 years. You know, we had the greatest economy in history during my 4 years.
Shit again.
Do you have a message for Greta Thunberg, and did she come up on your call with the Prime Minister today?
Well, she's a strange person. She's a young, angry person. I don't know if it's real anger. It's hard to believe, actually, but I saw what happened. She's certainly different. Anger managed.
Yeah, he's seen a video of her from like 5 years ago.
I think she has to go to an anger management class. That's my primary recommendation for her.
Was she kidnapped by Israel, as she says? Was she kidnapped?
I find it. I think Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg.
And secondly, are you going to
Is that what she said? She was kidnapped by Israel?
Yes, sir. Are you going to get rid of the Tesla and the Starlink service that you have here at the White House?
No, I haven't heard that. I mean, I may move the Tesla around a little bit, but I don't think...
Move it around to someone else's parking lot.
We're doing that with Starlink. It's a good service.
Where are you going to move it to? Move it around. What do you mean?
I have a lot of locations.
Actually, about the Tesla.
I got so many locations that I don't know what to do with them all.
About the Tesla, did
I guess he means to his golf courses.
you ever see Elon Musk get physical with the Treasury Secretary?
No, I didn't.
And I tried to
They
ask.
did have an argument, but I didn't see. I didn't see a lot of physicality there.
And there was this New York Times report
Because a door was closed between you.
that he did not want to talk about, Elon Musk, that alleged that he, towards the end of his time in the White House, was blurring the lines between recreational use of drugs and medicinal. Do you think he ever had drugs here at the White House?
I really don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Yes, he did.
Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well.
Yeah, not as well as Ghislaine Maxwell, but close.
Yeah.
About aid in Gaza, you mentioned now the flotilla. Do you have a response at all about Israel intercepting this boat? And can you give us an update on what's happening
He doesn't know about it.
to the entry of aid into Gaza right now? We've had people being shot by Israeli forces who are trying to get aid from the
right
Gaza
now,
Humanitarian Foundation. Yes.
Gaza right now is in the midst of a massive negotiation between us and Hamas and Israel, and Iran actually is involved. And we'll see what's going to happen with Gaza. We want to get the hostages back. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, please, in the back.
By the way, I don't know. Hold on. The flotilla is that Greta Thunberg, sailboat with a bunch of peace activists. They got intercepted because there's no fucking way they're going to get to the beach in Gaza. First of all, there's no situation where they're just going to let some boats through and not others, or have random boats just be able to roll up to there, especially with the amount of arms that goes into that area. It's just dumb. And secondly, they'll get killed. There was, let's see, hold on one second. There was a guy, Antonio, I'm blitzing on his name right now. Let's see, he's an Italian activist who was killed. Let's see, he was kidnapped first, and then they hung him. Aragoni, Vittorio Aragoni. He was. This was, what year was he killed? Hold on a second. In 2011. See if there's a picture of him. Yeah. This guy. So. This guy went into Gaza and was a total pro-Palestinian activist, and was arranging aid and all that kind of stuff. Went in and he was kidnapped by a Palestinian group there. Which one was it? Where is he? I don't have the name listed here, but it was like one of the Islamic Jihad kind of groups in there, kidnapped him and then hung him in Gaza. Yeah, he was on a flotilla as well. That's how he got there. He arrived on a flotilla.
Social a bit later, you'd said they were insurrectionists. After what you've seen
You're talking about in L.A.?
Yes, sir, in L.A.
I wouldn't call it quite an insurrection, but it could have led to an insurrection. I mean, that was a lot.
No, it's not even close to 90s levels. It's just stupid.
That was a lot of harm that was going on last night. I watched it.
Ooh, harm. Yikes.
Very closely. And it was amazing that the job that the National Guard did. And by the way, the police were working very hard also. But, the police are given instructions to be politically correct. I said, no, you don't have to be politically correct. You have to do the job.
And on Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon? I know some.
Which one?
On Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon?
I haven't really thought about it, actually.
Bullshit. That's a no.
Imagine he wants to speak to me. I would think that. If I were him, I'd want to speak to me, and maybe he was already called. You'd have to ask him whether or not he's already called. But I'd have no.
You don't know? Ask. Susie's sitting right next to you, asshole.
Problem with it. If he calls you, pick up and speak. Well, I don't want to say that, but I would imagine he'd want to talk to me.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Proposal from Iran today. Have you gotten that proposal? And what
We
is
have
the
a
main
meeting on
impediment?
Thursday.
What,
We have a meeting with Iran on Thursday, so we're going to wait till Thursday.
and what's
for
the
that
main
proposal.
impediment to getting a deal?
Well, they're just asking for things that you can't do. They don't want to give up what they have to give up. You know what that is.
What? You don't want to say the N word? Nuclear?
Seek enrichment. We can't have enrichment. We want just the opposite.
The opposite of enrichment? We want you to take weapons-grade uranium and turn it into lead. We want just the opposite of enrichment.
And so far, they're not there. I hate to say that because the alternative is a very, very dire one, but they're not there. They have given us their thoughts on the deal, and I said, it's just not acceptable. I would say, yeah. I don't know what else I can talk about the weather.
Well, you can talk about Lebanon.
Pretty much that's the main topic. Yeah.
Mr. President.
We talked about Lebanon also. Yeah, we did. Well, Lebanon's working very hard. They have a great new ambassador that I put there. Man, I know very well. He's very smart. I didn't even know he was Lebanese, and I said,
Jesus.
Why would you want Lebanon? He said, I was born there. I love it. I love the people. I said, it's very dangerous going to Lebanon. There are some ambassadorships that are wonderful. There are some that are dangerous. I said, Michel, his name is. It's a he, Michel, very elegant man. And I said, why would you want that?
Very elegant.
And he said, because I love my country and I love those people. I said, it's very dangerous. He goes, I don't care. This is not a man that lived on danger. He's a very successful man from here. And he wanted to be the ambassador despite probably a very dangerous situation he's going into. You see what's going on. But I had great respect for that. He loves that country. He loves it. He was born there. He loves the country.
Yeah, we know. You just found out, too.
Mr. President, you've got a big, beautiful parade coming up on Saturday.
Oh, my God. Brian Glenn.
What's your biggest expectations for that? Then I've got a second question.
Patching the holes in Pennsylvania Avenue?
In regards to Gavin Newsom. Go ahead and talk about the big, beautiful parade.
Thank you, Brian. It's such a, I think, important moment for this country. 2 weeks ago I was calling people and back at
Blah, 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 blah. Sales pitch.
Eiffel Tower. But when I said to myself, isn't that crazy? And I think it's all the different forts. And what do? We change the name of the forts because
they're named after Confederates.
We'll get that back very quickly. But we have a military the likes of which nobody has. Nobody just left them. No, I think it's time that we celebrate. And I sort of have to laugh at these people. Well, you're going to spend a lot of money. A lot of that money is being paid for by me and people that make donations. I don't know if you know that. A lot of it won't even come out of the military. I think I can say that, Susie, right? We have people putting up money to do it. Not that it's necessary, because I think it's a great expenditure. We have mini tanks.
Bullshit.
I'm celebrating Flag Day. It happens to be the same day, so I take a little heat. But Flag Day is the appropriate date. And we're celebrating 250 years of the Army, a great service. And remember, think of it. We won so much. We won World War.
Oh, my God. Bone spurs.
They celebrate, and that's what we're doing. So it's all over the place. So we have
future of California and for
I
U.S.
don't think
investments.
he is. I mean, I think he's done a terrible job. And, he's a guy, I always got along with him. You look at his past statements about me. I was a great president. I always took care of California, all that. But I'm just talking on results. You look, he has the advantage of beautiful weather, maybe the best weather of any state when you think about it. Beautiful weather.
Mike Johnson. Yeah. Definitely beats the shit out of mine.
Beautiful ocean, beautiful everything. You have all the advantages. And he didn't take advantage of that. And he's let people come in by the millions who are overrunning your hospitals, your education system.
How does he do it? He's the governor.
And your police are being overrun. Look at what's happened.
No, they're not, actually. It's pretty great. The city's pretty great.
He should only be...
all it has done is improve since COVID.
I sent in the military because if I didn't send them in, you would have had a
This is Minnesota talking points.
problem there, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, please. Thank you, Brian, very much.
Supersonic flight. On supersonic flight.
Supersonic
Yes,
flight.
sir. I know you just signed an executive order
Right.
on it. Do you want to see a supersonic Air Force One in the next 10 years or so?
Oh, well,
Oh my God, boring. All right, I'm out. I'm a half hour over, and I gotta go feed my kids.
Can't do
So
much about that. But I would like.
Shut up. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon at the regular time. And then I guess we'll end up on Friday on Karen's show. And then, regular shows throughout the week, except Thursday I'm going to be on Stephanie Miller's show in the morning. And then I'll do my afternoon show, and then I'll go to the QAF thing directly from there. So I'll do that in LA, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to drive back here to be with family and to do the show on Friday. I'll do Friday Eye from here in the studio. So listen to me. It's a 8x8 office, but I'm proud of it. God damn it. But the important thing is that we watch as everything goes Trump's way, even when it doesn't. And even as it won't. I mustn't be so sad. See you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Hit that like, share the show. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the Substack and all the channels and stuff.